It's time for the losers bracket. Meta MAPness. MAPness continues. So now again, just as a little caveat right at the start, the pick and ban patterns are still the exact same as in any normal series. But for this tournament, we have a special map pool that includes Hanamura, Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, and a few others. Maps that you usually don't get to see anymore in competitive play because they're just not balanced around competitive play, and most players really despise them. But it's a little bit more of a light-hearted tournament at the end of the year that we're trying to set up here. There's still prize money involved. We have 900 euros of prize money, and I have to once again give all of the people that support me and my stream on Patreon a big shout out here. Without you guys, this would not be possible. So thanks a lot to everybody that supports this on Patreon. This is a tournament that is made possible by all of you, and if you're somebody that wants to make sure that we have more events like this in the future, that one supports the effort, then just check out patreon.com/Khaldor. There's a link in the description as well that you can have a look at too. We're currently finding ourselves in the losers bracket. We have another best of 5 coming up. Dead Insiders against the Vinland Raiders. And this is actually a rematch. These two teams already played in the first round of the tournament. And, well, Dead Insiders won it and moved on to the winner bracket just to be defeated shortly after. The interesting part is that the Raiders, after they were done with the matches for the day, were watching the stream and were watching the games that Dead Insiders played, and they were all just sitting there like, how did we lose? So they really want to bring this back. They are very, very eager to get revenge now for that loss in the winner bracket, so it should be a very entertaining series. And the fun part around all of this is that Dead Insiders yesterday came in and they were just insane. So yeah, they threw so many games, it was totally ridiculous, but at the same time it was incredibly fun because they were just aggressive as hell. They took every fight, they YOLO'd hard, and it was super entertaining. They again pick Sylvanas early, and that's a theme that they use now multiple times. They're really liking to go very, very aggressive for lane pushing, and not necessarily always for the objective. So I'm super curious to see if they can maintain that style and if they're going to do it today too. I was already theorizing yesterday that the reason why they're playing like this is that when the tournament started, they made a secret pact that every single time that someone died, they had to take a shot. That would have definitely explained some of the plays that we saw towards the end. Limo again on Tracer, and he rocked it on Tracer yesterday. He got tons and tons of kills with her. Really made the backline suffer. His Genji got banned out. So yeah, very, very eager to see what's going on here. Sylvanas, Urel, and Tracer. Nice lineup, nice start into the draft for them. We got Brightwing already with a poly against Tracer. Bit of a potential problem. And Rexa for Sven here on Hanamura Temple. And also, kind of noteworthy, with the ban on Malfurion, they're making sure that Tracer doesn't get that overheal that allows her to go even deeper into the opponent's backline. Sergeant Hammer still gets the boot and gets eliminated too. But with that, we are getting the blue team with another pick. And they, by the way, play also with a sub. They have Svamgrota here. So they were saying earlier that some of their players apparently can't make it for the start of the series. I assume that we're going to have the full lineup a bit later here, but at least for now, they're playing with some. Ooh, and we get a Li Ming. Gavlo with Li Ming, and we get Uki on Johanna. Alright. Another double pick here on the right side. So for the red team, it's the final two. We still need the main tank and see what they take there. There was no main tank banned out, with the exception of Sergeant Hammer. So let's see what they're going to go for. But with Tracer, I mean, if not for the Malfurion ban, you could have gone for Malfurion and Tyrael. They go for Nubarak, and they got Anduin. So they got the stun, they can always engage with Urel plus Nubarak. And here we come in with the final pick, everybody. So we got on the left Svamgrota taking the final pick for the blue team. And they need a little bit more damage. They got Li Ming, and they can always aim for some resets here, but they definitely need a little bit more if they want to deal with this. Obviously, Li Ming can also counteract Nubarak's cocoon with her own disintegrate. It's Vala for Svamgrota, and well, that sets us up. Hanamura Temple, game number 1, Dead Insiders against the Vinland Raiders. Game number 1, we got the Raiders on the left with Sven on Rexa, Gavlo on Li Ming, Uki with Johanna, Svamgrota is playing Vala, and we got Unforgiven on Brightwing. Towards the right side of the map though, we got the Dead Insiders with Shizakid playing an Ubra, going straight for the Beetle on level 1. Anime Power on Sylvanas, we got Bishops on Urel, No Game, No Life on Anduin, and Limu is playing with a Tracer. Going on level 1 straight into the 1-2 punch. Question is, of course, a bit what we're going to get from particularly Vala here. Ooh, Pleb Horse. So yeah, Vala is going to be interesting. I would not mind, I said it before and I say it again, an arrow build on this particular map. They don't have a double support to keep her safe, so they definitely could play with that if they wanted to. But Svamgrota could also just decide that he wants to go into some auto attack aggression, and he does, but he's also getting blown up immediately. Or is he? Brightwing with the attempted save, but nope, there it is. So yeah, sad moment for Vala. First Gambit stack immediately lost right at the beginning of the game. The second he chooses it, he gets dived upon by 2 heroes, and well, that's that. So, nicely done by the red team. The aggression that we've seen from them before is once again there. I mean, again, they're doing this the entire time. From the beginning of the game, they're being as aggressive as they possibly can, and they're starting to hunt Svamgrota once more, nearly get a kill on him. But of course, with them diving this deep, they also expose themselves a bit to these ganks and to these little pushes here. Svamgrota about to go down, but it's a kill against Tracer too. Still a worthy trade. Still a worthy trade though, because that means that right now they have 2 Gambit stacks removed from the team, from Vala, and yeah, this is pretty much like the ideal setup. In 1 minute into the game, 1.5 minutes, you're already having 10% of the attack speed removed that Vala gains by getting that talent or taking that talent in the first place. But yeah, a bit of a heal over here on Gavlo. We still got camps taken at the top right too. At least in experience, the teams are now even. When you're going up against somebody that's this aggressive, you really just need to make sure that you are not getting rattled too easily and that you just have a solid foundation to build on, that you're very disciplined around your rotations and also around the decisions that you make and the calls that you make just in general. So that's what they're attempting to do right now. And they are putting some pressure on Anubarak. Svamgrota also, yeah, dealing with Anduin here. And for Anduin is also a bit of a problem. Not diving out too deep. Good vault, but has to be very careful. Gets attacked again. Gets zoned. The heal from Brightwing, but it's just not enough. Both of them die. Sylvanas with the kill. And with 4 kills to 1, the move for the fort at the top. They're gaining the momentum here. And this is a really big problem now. Not only are they now behind in experience, they're starting to lose structures. There's at least some counterplay at the bottom of the map as Rexa was doing a number on them. But with the rotation coming in from the top, it seems that Sven is now also going to die. Yeah, he drops to 5 kills to 1. And with the typical aggression that we're seeing from Dead Insiders, they're coming in again and are starting to absolutely crush them. 25 stacks for Vala, not really a whole lot. On level 4 we now get the charged blast. Now they're not out of this just yet. In experience they're still rather close, and if they can maybe get the bottom fort of the red team, then they're drawing even in structures too. So level 10 might change things up a bit as well, since the dynamic is always changed whenever you get your heroic abilities. But at least here in the early game they're struggling with the aggression that comes from Dead Insiders. And it's kind of fun to me that the red team is just continuing where they left off yesterday. It's the same aggression, it's the same immediate plays for kills, and they're doing it again here, but this time Bishops might have been going a bit too deep. He has to be pulled out by Anduin, but Anubarak is also low, and the objective, or well, the camp is taken. The fight isn't over yet. Svamgrota! That looked a little bit like a hardcore int here. He did all of a sudden stop moving completely, and then Vala dies, and shortly after that it's Johanna that falls. So I think they could have gotten out of that fight without losing another 2 heroes. So that's already 7 kills to 1 and a level 7 talent on top of that. Things are definitely not looking good for the Raiders here. The Raiders are getting raided. And pretty massively at that. So Bishops up at the top, 7-7, and with Hot Pursuit now coming in on the next talent. Another fort has been destroyed. Yeah, they gotta get their shit together. if they don't start to focus a bit more, then this is going to be lights out in game number 1. They are now trailing by 1 level, and this is still salvageable, but with every single team fight that we see, it's becoming harder and harder for them to get back into this game. So I'm a little bit worried for them, I'm not gonna lie here. And Nubarak is now going to try and push the payload a bit as well, but Jojo apparently has something to say about that too. But with both forts lost, I'm concerned, really am. So let's see what they can do, if they can be aggressive enough around it. Down at the bottom of the map, it's still the red team that goes for the next camp, that is also trying to escort the payload a little bit further. And is the blue team going to try and contest this or not? Given that it's only half level until Dead Insiders have their level 10 ability, I doubt that we're going to see some crazy play here. So yeah, either way, as it stands, with heroic abilities, they can get even more aggressive for roughly an entire level, because it's going to take some time, of course, to close that gap, that window that we have here between them. But yes, here it is. Right now, the attack right over to Swamgrota again, but this time he's able to get out. We have the cocoon. Once that Li Ming gets her ult, she can, of course, play against it a bit with her own disintegrate and burn it down and win the cooldown trade. But we don't have a lot of stacks for Vala. We had 43 now, so it's not even that she's stacking damage successfully. They're just sitting there waiting for the experience to arrive. And it's the only thing that they can do at this moment in time. I mean, there's nothing else to do when your opponent has level 10 already. So they got to be super careful with this. There's just no denying that. So play it as safe as you possibly can. And then we'll see if they can maybe, yeah, turn this at 10. But it's not gonna be easy. Either way, we currently have level 11 already on the board for Dead Insider, so they're extending that gap in experience even further. 13,000 damage for Tracer. Blue team still patient, still trying to make sure that they're getting the heroics. But once that they have them, they really need to make a play. They need to close this gap as quickly as possible. They just can't trail the entire game with a talent or more. So, yeah. Couple of hits coming in against Limu at least. Not gonna be a problem for him, but at least keeps him at bay for now. Misha already up at the top. Yeah, trying to apply some pressure here, and here's level 10 finally, but also Jojo gets attacked. Blessed Shield could be used here. Oh boy, weak problem here for her to stay alive, but Uki is still in play, starting to move out. 5 versus 5 now. Rain of Vengeance is missing. Disintegrate gets interrupted, but nearly burned down the cocoon at the time. They're going for bishops. They might get it. Tracer's also low. Finally an opportunity for them to maybe get a kill, but it's not really happening just yet. And even Sylvanas makes it out. All 3 of them insanely low, and they're able to retreat. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. That could have been, that should have been at least a kill, maybe more. Now Bishop's jumping in again. So does Shizakin, but Nubarak, does he get punished this time? Yes, he does. They trade Misha for Nubarak. This integrate is being used once again. They want to go for Limu. We even have Urel being around, but they're also interested in taking these camps now. So a bit of, I mean, they're getting something done here. The Blessed Shield is out. It's a nice condemn, but can they get the kill? They need the damage. They need it now. Another heal is coming out as we're seeing Rexa unleash the force and go for the ult. Good stun. And the kill on Anduin. Well done, but can they get more? They want another kill. Can Misha come in with a second stun? It's not happening just yet, but they're trying to get a foothold in this game. They're doing their best here, but the aggression is just murderous. And there's the double kill. You can never expect them to retreat. Dead Insiders is going to fight you all day, every day. They're not going to retreat. They don't care if they don't have their support with them. They're just going to go full on YOLO. And that results in both damage dealers falling and the bottom keep being destroyed. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy and ridiculous. These guys are crushing it. They don't care if they're outnumbered. They don't care if they don't have a support with them. If they see an opportunity to fight, they are going for it and they're going to take you down. There's now the 13 for Anduin and his boys. They're coming in with a light bomb again and they connect it easily with 2. Vala is in trouble, but the Rain of Vengeance is solid. She needs a little bit more though. Limu trying to get the kill. They're making a play for that camp. It's still being contested and Nubarak He's so low, and they have to give the camp up. The camp is gone. Vala nearly down. Everybody low. In comes Slimming, trying to get a connect here, and she gets the Calamity. The reset, the attempt to go for bishops, it's not working out, but at least one hero was eliminated. The camp was also taken by the Raiders. They're losing out on structures, and Tracer is picking off Vala. Nice and easy kill right there. A second one comes through to Sylvanas, drops Li Ming, and now Brightwing is also killed. Once again, Dead Insiders turn around a fight that they already lost. They're chasing Jojo, and they're dropping her as well. Yeah, she can delay it, but she is not going to change anything here. A little bit of recall. There's no... she actually had the Blessed Shield. For a second I was wondering if she has a chance of getting a kill on Tracer. Not quite though. But it is incredible how they're turning these fights around. Time and time again. They already lose... I mean, they lost the battle, and then they come in again and just say, wait, we still have a chance here. They turn it and they get their kills. Up at the top, the engage with Tracer, the Light Bombers, they're trying to make a move for Rexa. Not quite getting the kill yet, and it's Anduin that's going to fall. So they are still trying to hold on to this and fight as best they can. Down at the bottom of the map, Nubarak, he's still busy and finally takes the Sentinel down, or is about to, but that has done a lot of damage and really pushed the lane out. It also safeguarded the lane from the pressure of those catapults, but they have to deal with the top lane now too. And while they are dealing with the lane and, well, try to deal with Tracer, there's another camp that gets now taken, so more items locked in by Dead Insiders, who have level 16. They're 2 levels ahead and they got level 16. Huge talent advantage. Vala has died 6 times, by the way. Yeah, this is definitely a game when arrow build would have been a little bit better for them. Hindsight, of course, always being 2020, but I talked about it even before they picked it. So here comes the double pull for Anduin. Oh, Nubarak! And they kill him! And Nubarak is down. They want more kills, and they might just get them. That was another good connect here with the Rain of Vengeance, and they're making a move for Yrel. Anduin, he has other plans, though, but he himself might now be in trouble. Yrel turning around and saving him. But that might put her in trouble too, and it is the Space Gold that falls. So, without level 16 talents, they're forcing the fight, and the Raiders get a double kill. 7 kills to 14 now. I mean, they're doing what they can to bring this back, but of course the aggression is coming in again. You think they are afraid of fighting 3v5? Of course they're not. They're totally willing to throw a game if they can lock in a kill or two. And they've shown that yesterday plenty of times, and today they're just continuing exactly there. So we got 14 kills to 7, level 16 against level 15. They're taking what they can here, trying to take the Sentinel too. But if you are the Raiders, you gotta be aware that they are very likely going to try and go for you when you're doing this. So they're close, but they're not forcing the fight just yet. But this game is not necessarily over, so a lot of problems for the Raiders in the early game. And Dead Insiders, they are capitalizing on this aggressive strategy that they're using once more. But it seems that the Raiders are now finally starting to deal with it a bit better. They're finally in a position where they are more used to what's going on here, where they're responding in kind. They got their own level 16 talent. The quest is completed for Rexa on level 4. That's also quite impactful. And of course, Manticore is going to make a difference here. Even without the attack speed on Vala's Gambit, this is going to help. And they're taking camp after camp. And as you can tell, down at the bottom of the map, somebody needs to deal with the Sentinel too. At the top, there's also one that's already getting attacked here, but they're pushing the payload at the same time, so they're getting a twofer. And they're trying to go for a quick kill. Good stuns, but Anduin is shutting this down. Anduin is shutting it down. Now they're trying to go for the fight here. Tracer isn't there yet. They don't care. But they're getting chased. Ah, Tracer with a light bomb engage. Yeah, that's a problem for Jojo though in the back. Does she still have a trade? No, she doesn't. The safe attempt, and there it is, the Iron Skin. She's still in play, and they were able to keep her alive. And they're also locking in another item. They have to deal with the Sentinel, and they do, but the fights are definitely spicing up right now. And Dead Insiders are trying to make a move for the payload again. They are closing in slowly and steadily to level 20, but they still have 2 levels to bridge themselves. Of course, they are ahead in experience, but the Raiders, they are totally willing to go for these fights now. The big problem is really the bot lane with all of those catapults. Now, as is, we have only 14-15 minutes on the board. That's still a problem, but it might not end the game right away. It's ending the life of Urel, though. Holy shit. I mean, she was completely stun-locked. She had no chance there. And now it's just a question of how exactly the Raiders want to play this. What are they trying to get out of this advantage that they currently have? They're trying to steal a couple of the items away. They're trying to go for more of those camps. They probably have to push out the bot lane a little bit, but they also want to go for the payload. So there's actually a lot of things that are currently on their agenda. They have another 24 seconds until Urel is back to business. That's quite a bit of time that they can use here. And they're just racing that payload up towards the top. Brightwing the one to move down to the bottom of the map. And yeah, dealing with all of this, making sure that they're also getting the experience and also dealing with the catapults here. But the shots are now going to be fired. So this is a wild first game between the two teams. And keep in mind, so far, not a single fort has been destroyed on from the Dead Insiders. Dead Insiders haven't lost anything yet. Talking about losing things. Vala lost once again a fight against 5. Shocking, I know. So yeah, she gets ganked up on, gets murdered, so does Misha. Bot lane, the core still losing shield. Somebody has to deal with it. Brightwing needed to move and help the team. But the top fort is still in play, so is the bottom fort. Brightwing is now attempting to deal with the final catapult, but guess what? The red team is making a move for the core. The shield is gone, hit points are low, but so is Anubarak, and he dies. Anub got wrecked. He's gone, half a level to 20. Still more than a level for the Raiders, and they're chasing. They're chasing hard right now, even without Vala. They want to get some kills. They want to snowball this further. Can they go for the Crybaby? If they can get a lock on Anduin, that would be great, but it doesn't look likely, especially Li Ming has to be careful that she doesn't move too far out or she's going to be turned and punished. Nice blessed shield, and that's a kill. Well done. Good kill for the blue team. Urel is now coming in from the top, and they got level 20 talents. Vala's already on her way, but the angle is fantastic. Early shield also from Bishops. The fruit fly still alive, super important here. Vala is just now joining, and Li Ming dies just before she can turn it together with the rest of the team. Rexa also falls, and that is just bad news. And Vala dies again. 8 deaths on Vala. Not Swamgrota's finest hour here. And of course, at this point, 18 kills, 210. 20 is close for the blue team, but I don't think they're going to reach it anymore in on this map. It was actually a fair attempt at a comeback. It was a really good attempt at a comeback. The only one that hasn't died in this game is Sylvanas, by the way. They're still aiming to go for the core here, but the red team might actually lose a hero too if they're not careful. Yeah, hello? Oh, Tracer, they're all so low, but nobody is coming back anytime soon, so the core is likely going to fall here. Good attempt at a defense, but it just wasn't meant to be. It is a kill on Brightwing, and that is going to seal the deal here. A 1-0 lead for Dead Insiders as they take the victory on Hanamura Temple.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Haunted Mines is the map as Dead Insiders are planning to extend their lead. It was a pretty special game, number 1. I mean, the usual aggression that we're seeing from the red team was just continued from yesterday into today's match. But the Raiders were able, after level 10, to deal with it a bit better. It honestly felt like they were caught off guard at the beginning of the game. So now that we're heading into the second map, I think they know what to expect here. And Swamgrota is probably, if he plays Vala again, shy away a bit from that auto-attack build, because as you could tell, Dead Insiders, they really like to dive hard. And I love this ban. I talked about this already yesterday when Dead Insiders were playing, that banning Sylvanas against them is a really good choice. For multiple reasons. I mean, first and foremost, Sylvanas allows them to play the macro game if they really need to and to push some lanes. But we've seen so many aggressive plays now with Sylvanas, and she had a huge impact on pretty much every single victory and team fight. So banning her out makes perfect sense to me. This is something you just want to get rid of, where you realize, hey, this is a key hero for my opponent, so let's eliminate that from here. It's a pretty good one, I think. Now you have to, of course, also think about, hey, how we're going to deal with Limo. Do we ban Genji out? Do we ban Tracer out? Do we just leave both of them up, allow him to take whatever he wants, and then we're going to take it from there and just like deal with him? Or what's going to be the move? The thing is also that in addition to that, you have to think what you want to do with the support. Because Genji, dealing with him is one thing, but if you all of a sudden have to deal with the Light Bomb and Gage as well, on top of dealing with Genji or Tracer, makes matters of course worse, and the aggressive playstyle that we're seeing from Dead Insiders is a problem there. And well, that's one way how you can start to address that a little bit. You just pick Genji for yourself and start the draft like that. So they're definitely now more so about like thinking, hey, what do we want? They're trying to also deny a few things to the opponent and just take that away from them. And I like it. I think it's an adjustment that makes perfect sense if you've seen how Dead Insiders played in the last 2 days. Every single time they had a draft that they were confident in, they were just aggressive from start to finish. And now they're starting with Gul'dan. Okay, Gul'dan very early in the game already. He is probably fantastic in the mines to get those skulls. Yeah, he should be fantastic in that role. So, very curious how they are going to pull this one off now. But, and how the rest of the draft is going to look for them too. But, yeah, do they focus on the mines? Do they stay at the top? Do they just wave clear the lanes? It will be neat. Diablo and Malfurion are the picks for the Raiders for now. But, yeah. Me likey. The final bans. This is the moment where you could get rid of, well, Anduin, Tracer. What else do we have on the red team side that was a huge problem in the previous games? They already banned out Sylvanas. I wouldn't put it past the red team to at some point also drop a Medivh, but not necessarily in this game right now. Maybe focus on that main tank a little bit and try to eliminate one, but no, they still deal with Tracer. They're saying like, okay, Limu, we already took your Genji away, now we're taking Tracer away, let's see what else you got, and if you can still play the remaining heroes on the same level or not. Either way, I'm very sure that the Raiders are going to play this, at least at the beginning, a little bit differently right now. Here's Muradin. Muradin, Urel, we get Karazim, so a more dive. And we saw an Abathur. We saw one Abathur on Haunted Mine so far. Let's not forget about that. And if you're going for a Karazim, that's of course something that could work out as well. Either way, double pick for the blue team now. Final two. They still need their side laner. And they also would probably like a little bit more damage here. We saw a lot of Cassia yesterday, by the way, so that's something that eventually today is also going to make a reappearance. First we've seen Junkrat and it's Sonya, so still an aggressive draft that they're running. And Sonya also has with the sustain and all of the side lane she can do an opportunity to go into the mines and play it out there. Same true, of course, for Urel, who we've seen a lot, like used a lot to go into the mines and collect the skulls. But the final pick, Limu, he is a bit of the Limu is like budget Nick at this point, so he's a bit of the X-Factor player, and there's our Abathur, just as expected. Nice, I like it. Haunted Mines, game number 2, Dead Insiders against the Vinland Raiders. Let's go, everybody. We're going straight to Haunted Mines, the second map of this best of 5 series. We are on Haunted Mines, and we have Unforgiven on Malfurion, Sven on Sonya, Uki on Junkrat, Svamgrotta on Diablo, and we got Gavlo on Genji. To the right side of the map, it's Shizakid for the red team with Muradin. Limu playing Karazim this time, so they're going for a bit of a damage Karazim. Well, it's a little bit weird when you're saying damage Karazim, because at the end of the day, every single Karazim player worth his salt is going to start with the Iron Fists on level 1, but there's obviously the chance on 16 to add more damage. You have an Abathur also that can really help you, and I would expect that he's going to play it a bit like an assassin style. We have Bishops on Urel, No Game No Life on Abathur, and Anime Power is playing Gul'dan. whereas Abathur himself is going for the nests. This is actually one of the really annoying things that you could do also in the earlier stages of Heroes of the Storm. You could just try and get some mines around the entrances. So that was always a huge problem. Now there's multiple things that you of course can do with that particular build with Abathur. You can first of all try and place the toxic nest strategically so that you know where your opponent is and that it helps you to get some vision in general. But at the same time, you also have opportunities to just play around these entrances a little bit and make it really annoying for your opponent to enter or leave the mines. And not only does it give you information, but it also puts you in a position where, just generally speaking, in a pretty solid spot to annoy your opponent as much as humanly possible. So either way, in the early stages at least, I would expect the blue team to play this a little bit safer to make sure that they're not getting caught off guard again. The last game definitely showed that the aggression that we are seeing from Dead Insiders is something that they struggled with. But already moving strong as a 4-man here, and they have to be very, very careful with those rotations. But they are already suffering a lot of hit point losses on Junkrat, but they attempt to turn it around, and they're trying with Genji to go for the back line, and that's the end of Khaldor. They're likely going to take down Karazim too, so that's the second kill. And boy, oh boy, the red team is apparently getting a taste of their own medicine here. Khaldor is wrecking them. That is 3 heroes that were eliminated. And of course, a big part of this fight was also the fact that Abathur cannot contribute with a hit point pool. That is an issue in the early game. Once that you have level 10 and you got your copy, that makes things a little bit easier. But in the early game, you have a lot of advantages with Abathur. But if you're looking at a 5 versus 5 battle, there's still some sustain missing in your team composition. And that's something that got abused massively now by the blue team. It allows for map control, and it allowed them to also get some additional camps now. So they have the early level 4. In this case, that means we got the boom pow. We got the shot of fury, and we have them again moving through the top lane, trying to get Bishop slow, and Urel is suffering here. Diablo with the engage and hoping to get the stun, but couldn't quite hold on to her. Khaldor maybe a little bit too aggressive here, and he dies. Now, as Genji, you always have to toe the line a little bit, but now that he falls, it's also Malfurion that finds himself in trouble. He's barely able to make it out. It seems that Stormbolt that came from Muradin nearly ended his life, but of course we're seeing the red team with all that aggression once again. Malfurion finds himself on the right side of the battle for the second time in this fight and goes down. Well, nicely done. Well played by Team Dead Insiders. And the mines are open by now. So the mines are open. We're still seeing a fight for Muradin. The camp was also taken, and Diablo is a little bit too low, and it seems like they're just not learning their lesson. They're staying too long and then they get punished for it. But the same can also be said from Limo, I suppose, because he dove in a bit too hard. He went for Diablo and got the kill, but then he gets punished a second later. Khaldor is still willing to poke them low and is always ready for another aggressive move, I'd say. But of course, they gotta account for Abathur, because that hat can appear out of nowhere. And that's what they are, at the end of the day, looking for. So, the mines so far untouched. Nobody really went for them. But the aggression on the top level is exactly unfolding the way that you would expect after the first game. The teams are going blow for blow. They're trying to go for quick kills here. Urel finally making a move into the lower level and attempting to get a few skulls together. As we see a bit of an assassin battle happening. But of course, Abathur is turning that into an unfair advantage. Limo is low, and Khaldor is all of a sudden realizing that he might be able to get a kill if they can turn it on him. But they're in a 4 versus 5 still, because the Space Goat is still going for skulls. A little bit of buggy blocking here by Khaldor, nicely done. And they get the kill on Muradin, but they also need to make sure that they're capitalizing on these situations properly. And it seems that now some of them at least move down into the lower levels just so that they have an opportunity. Maybe even go for Urel. They haven't really sniffed her out yet. Instead, they're pressuring the bot lane. And with the first objective, the first golem, it's always a bit of a question whether or not you really want to commit too many of your resources to the golem, since it's not really that strong yet. So you can definitely defend. You have to, of course, make sure that you're at least trading in structures. And that's what they're trying to do right now. Khaldor gets out. The bottom fort has taken some damage. The fight not over yet. And Limo is stunned into the fountain and falls. And Muradin dies too. Yeah, really well played. With 7 kills to 3, you can tell that they, after the first game, learned their lesson and are now just way more focused on these team fights, and it's working wonders for them. They are ahead in kills and experience, and they have now also taken down the bottom fort quite quickly. So, really nice job by them. And they can still get a fair amount of skulls if they just move down and get the big golem. But as I said, the first one is going to be a little bit more on the weak side either way. So you always have to take that into account too. One thing that's probably worth highlighting is that Abathur decided to not go for Mule on level 7. So that allows to play more around the toxic nests, of course. Makes you very annoying, but at the same time, it also means that there's no chance for you to repair anything if those golems march through or your structures get attacked by the blue team. So that's one thing that nobody of the raiders has to worry about. Mirrodin dying again is definitely not a good sign. So all of a sudden, this is a situation that Dead Insiders probably are not very used to, at least not in this tournament. So far, they've always been the aggressive team that is trying to go and hunt players down, go for kills, and then take an advantage that way. But in this case, they are just getting fully farmed by the opponent. And level 10 is already in the hands of the blue team. So they got level 10. We have them also stealing the camp away, at least trying to. And with horrible abilities, they should be able to pull that off. But they got pushed off the point for a second. Karazim dies, but the Siege Giants, they got claimed by Dead Insiders. But with heroic abilities now, there is, of course, a lot of control for the team in blue that they can use to pull even further ahead. And let's not forget, they don't even have to go for the objective. I mean, they don't even have to go into the mines and try and take those skulls. If you just leave the golem there, then it means that the objective is never going to spawn. And as long as the game is going well for them and they control the top level, there is no real reason for them to rush anything. They can just still try and capitalize on it, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going again for Mirrodin and they successfully kill him. So he's down too. Another little play being made for Gul'dan this time. He goes down, and one zip after another as Genji is taking them apart piece by piece. They are still, with 12 kills to 3, massively ahead, have a chance to take the top fort down, which is exactly what they're currently doing here. And yeah, it is a big problem for sure for Dead Insiders. Now, you can never count the red team out. We've seen too many comebacks by them as well. They are a little bit infamous by now for throwing some games where they are massively ahead, but we've also seen them pull insane comebacks off just by forcing these team fights and dominating them in the later stages. But of course, at this point, it's the Raiders game. They are the ones that are dictating what's happening here. They are the ones that are making the moves, and things are looking spicy. And always trying to use Gavlo, first of all, as a little bit of an observer ward as well, to check out where they are, so he's scouting whenever he can, but also to chase the backline down when they can make a move there. Abathur with the ultimate evolution now, level 10 abilities are now available on both sides, so this is the moment of truth where the red team can prove that they can still win these team fights. There's no talent advantage right now, but they're making another little play. Oh, yes, they're going for Karazim. Can they get the kill? Yeah, the barbecue. They come in, barbecue him to death. The Abathur copy is in play, but I don't think he's going to get a lot of value out of this one. And once again, they are doing... Oh. I can see. I can't get close here. But they're turning it on Mirrodin. They force the Avatar. Even that doesn't save Shizakid. Mirrodin falls, and we now have 14 kills to 3. Yeah, and they, of course, now have to make some choices. Do they eventually move down into the mines and start going for the golem just so that they can try and control that? Do they just simply play for the upper level with the talent advantage that they currently hold over the red team? Or what's the play going to be? The game is definitely a lot easier to end if you have a big golem that you can push, but obviously that also means you need to wait for one of the golems later on in the game that has really scaled properly. If you want to end it here, then establishing a big lead in experience and talents will also help you, but it also means that you have to just push the lanes out and just play for the team fights, which is definitely something you can do, and they got that lead now. So it's going to be pretty interesting what the blue team decides in the long run. But for now, they are totally happy to stay up at the top and go for these team fights. But of course, also allows Dead Insiders always to try and come back into this by winning a team battle and taking that underdog experience. 7-sided strike being used. The root on the ground, on the other hand. The Reptile on its way. Genji on the chase. And bam! They blow Baldy up. Karazim is down. He has about as many hit points as Hair. And what a meme by Avatar. The Slugger in the house. Yeah, they were trying to go for the kill, but they couldn't. Bishop's low, talking about kills, and Genji, you don't have to ask him twice. He's going to lock that in. So now they can go for Abathur. He went for the copy, and now that they destroyed it, it means that Abathur dies as well. 17 kills to 3. The Raiders got a little bit angry after game number 1, didn't they? Yeah, they didn't like that loss at all. Now they go for Diablo, and Swamgrota finally falls. They still hold on to a 2-level lead though, but the chase is there. The chase is ready. 7-sided X-Strike. They're pulling all the stops here. Genji is, of course, in the target-rich environment, and if he had a few more hit points left, I think Garflo would have probably gone for it and tried to get the kill on his opponents. We don't... Well, we actually have on level 13, the Quicksilver now. Also, Needle Spine is in. The talents are ready, and they are even talents now. Diablo back to business. Obviously sacrifices souls in the last fight, but he's still on the map. This guy is not going to fall anytime soon. This guy is a sad panda. He's just sad because nobody wants to play him then. I mean, he is ugly as hell, but that's not... He's a Schnitzelkind. So, yeah, it doesn't really translate properly in English, but one of the best insults in German is that you're a cutlet kid, which pretty much just means that your mom has to tie a cutlet around your neck so that at least the dog is going to play you. But yeah. So that's pretty much what the boss is over here. This is a little bit more fun and a little bit more teasing in German. I think it sounds a bit more mean in English than it's actually meant to be. But yeah, either way, not something that is meant to be translated. So right now we have the boss finally taken, the Golem. It's 100-0, but it should be pretty easily defeated. The scaling, to my knowledge, just starts once that it's announced. But at this point, I would be well, we're actually going to find out right now. 17-4, so either this thing is going to be burned down within seconds, or it's now going to absolutely murder the entire lane. And I would say that it's going to be burned down in seconds, because yeah, the scaling, to my knowledge, is happening whenever the skulls are announced, and we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't do too much. For like 100%, this one, actually don't know. Now at the top, they're trying to push this out a little bit. So right now we got Swamgrota again, blocking them out. Good move by Junkrat, by the way, completely displacing half the team here, and it leads to a kill on Gul'dan. They're trying with a Gul'dan copy again, and this is all happening with Sonya not even being here. Let's not forget about that. Sonya isn't even here, and there's 2 heroes that just died, plus the copy that got eliminated. So that's all that they gotta do. The boss at the bottom of the map, stronger than expected, but still, even with 100 skulls, only dropping the keep to 30% HP? 35 maybe? So, thanks to a 15 kill lead and a 3-level advantage, the Vinland Raiders are still in a dominant position. And with the next announcement, they can also go for the Golem if they wanted to. Karazim is not going to make it here. He just doesn't have any dash targets. So he's down. 44,000 damage by now from Genji. And this is a statement that the Raiders are making here. They're definitely not done with this best of 5 series. Game number 1 didn't go their way at all. But now they're dropping keep number 1 14 minutes in. And they're just on their way to even a potential victory with the support eliminated. Banning out Tracer, getting rid of Sylvanas, picking Genji for themselves did absolute wonders. Dead Insiders, they just can't be as aggressive as they want to be with all of that mobility that they usually have, and the lack of Sylvanas and even Tracer is of course a huge deal here. Gul'dan gets popped within a second as he's trying to defend. Shizakid is not looking too good either. The hit points are dropping quickly even with Avatar in play. And look at Karazim, he just doesn't stand a chance. Has to go for the 7-sided again. Genji protected, no problem for him. They're chasing Urel down and they take her apart, and the core is already losing hit points as Shizakid is just going for the YOLO solo. Jumps in feet first and dies a painful death as the slug is taken down. Abathur eliminated. And this is the first victory in this best of 5 series for the Vinland Raiders. They tie it up, a 1-1 score as we are about to head into game number 3. Well-deserved victory with 25 kills for GG. Alright everybody, game number 3, we got a tie. Seems like the Raiders woke up. The Raiders are, by the way, not the only one that woke up. Tim woke up too. So he heard that we're casting the shitty maps now, and he's here for it.
Yay. Another day. Hang on, it's only fair. When chat says things are shitty, I say explain yourself, because I want people to explain why they think shitty. Why do you think Warhead's shitty? Right now, go ahead. Say it to the world.
It's just like Warhead. I want to say from all of the maps that we've now reintroduced, Warhead is probably the one that it excites me the least. It was kind of fun casting Blackhearts a couple of times and also Haunted Mines, but Warhead Junction is kind of meh. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. For me, why Warhead Junction is kind of meh is it was obviously they were trying to go for a design choice to get the game a little bit bigger and make lanes more important, but they just kind of fell on their face that way just because there's no way to control your lane at a point to where you can dominate it if because of mounts. People can rotate over it, so it kind of feels rough. And then, of course, the nuclear objective doesn't bring enough to the game to make you want to move to them and actually use them. They're not that fun. So that's why it kind of falls flat for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like in this case, yeah, there's a lot of team fights, and this is fine. This is something that dead inside us. Dude, like, we had yesterday so many games where I had to think of you. Like, we had a Ragnaros with Lava Wave, where they were trying to control just the macro, and especially the red team has been so aggressive the entire time. It's the reason why Sylvanas and Genji are now banned, because they are two of the key elements that they've been using in every fight. And they went for that typical Russian aggression, you know, where they 4 versus 3, we don't care, we still attack. 2 talents down, screw it, let's go. And they somehow make it work. It's ridiculous. They were shut down in the last on the last map, but yesterday and today in the first game in this series, they are just all over the place again, just looking for fights and kills.
Sometimes you gotta hold that W, man. Well, let's see how it all unfolds. Blaze Hogger, has anybody anything crazy aside from the Lava Wave Ragnaros? Any big major changes you've seen? Like on Haunted Mines, I thought I would see something a little bit different. I don't know what, but I was hoping it would happen.
I mean, we've seen some things where Nick, for example, adjusted players again. We've seen like Abathar twice now. We have Suljin a few times. Nothing too crazy. So I don't really think that the teams massively scrimmed on the maps and then started picking heroes specifically for them. There's a few adjustments in the draft that you can see, especially throughout the best of 5 series. But I would say that Abathar and Suljin were probably the two, and Ragnaros were the 2-3 that were the biggest so-called surprises there, so yeah.
Like, I could see a Zagara coming out on this map or something, even with the ability to teleport due to that tunnel. Like, that is helpful, because you kind of want to all in or push, or even an Azmodan with a different build rather than his Q builds and whatnot. Yeah. But for now, everything looks pretty standard.
It was funny casting Blackhearts, because back in the day on Blackhearts, you know, like bot lane Zagara all day, every day. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, sorry, so, I was trying to mute.
No, you're fine.
I fucked over you.
But did you have an actual flu, or did you have COVID? Because the cough is a typical
I had the
COVID
flu.
thing.
Okay. I did COVID. I checked it 3 times. There was one particular thing that tipped me off that was the flu. One, I did the COVID test. I did it twice. Yeah. Just to double check. And then I looked up symptoms on day 3 because I was like, damn, this really sucks. And one of the symptoms is actually only specific to flu that I had, and it's not one that I should publicly state out loud, but it's one that I had. I went with it. So
Trig with a massive diarrhea doesn't want to talk about it on stream.
No, I wouldn't talk it. I mean, I guess I could say it, but my testicles were like very like sensitive. Sorry, I'm coughing, and that's like apparently an after effect or a side effect that you can have with the flu. And so that was really annoying. They were very swollen. And
that is a flu symptoms sensitive.
That is a flu symptom. Yeah. I was like, why are these so sensitive right now? My fucking god! Like it was just slightly painful. And so yeah, that was that's how I located it down to.
I never knew.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I got you guys. Just a quick disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor in any way, shape, or form. That was all found on the internet. So
I learn something new every day. We got a Zeratul! Nice!
fuck yes.
Could even
Hell
go
yeah.
into... Ooh, we have even a potential Wombo. Not sure if they're going for it, but they could.
They better VP into the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yes, please. If you time it perfectly, jet propulsion as well. Well, actually, depending on the patch, because it used to change a lot, you could actually just run straight into VPs and continue your ability. You might be able to jet propulsion straight into it and hit everybody. Oh, that actually looks really nice.
Limu with Tychus this time. Yeah, it was a bit of a go-to whenever his heroes are banned out and they're targeting both Genji and Tracer. So yeah, good stuff. Warhead. All right, let's go, everybody. We got map number 3 coming up in the best of 5 here in the losers bracket. Let's see if the Raiders have finally cracked the code or if Dead Insiders are able to put another point onto the board. Alright, boys and girls, game 3, the Raiders on the left with Unforgiven on Rega. We got Sven on Zeratul, Swamgrotta on Diablo, here on Forehead Junction, Gavlo on Blaze, and Uki is playing Junkrat.
On the far right, in the red. Oh my god, I don't know half of these names. Shik on Murden, No Game No Life on Lucio, Limu on Tychus, Bishu Pass on Hogger, and Anime Power on Falset, and I'm sure I delivered on every single one of those usernames.
100%, 100%. That's what they're
Hell
called
yeah.
right now.
That's what I'm here for.
with the symptoms, by the way, it was like really fun. I had, when was it, like 2 months ago or so? Maybe, yeah, roughly 2 months ago, I had Corona again. And for the first time, so I had it either the second or the third time. And for the first time, I lost for half a day my sense of smell. And it was
Really?
super funny because I wanted to, you know, clear my sinuses, so I put some of this Vicks stuff on my chest. And for some reason, I couldn't smell it at all, and that's how I realized that I couldn't smell anything. It was super funny. I ran the entire day
menthol
just...
thing?
Huh?
That menthol thing that like kind of gets in your nose and helps you clear out your congestion.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
thing?
That you rub on
Okay,
your
okay.
chest, and it's like super
Yeah.
potent, you know, and I couldn't smell
How hard
it.
did you rub it on your chest?
Huh?
How hard did you rub it on your chest?
Very hard.
How many circles?
Nipples were happy.
Oh my god, keep going.
No, but it was super funny because I just ran through the kitchen for the entire day, just opening like jars of jam and like peanut butter and other things, just like smelling everything, like trying to see, can I smell this? Can I smell this and this? Only lasted half a day, but it was super, super funny.
Wow, well, I'm glad you're feeling better. That would suck a lot. A camp was actually invaded on the bottom left, and now we have a big scuffle going on. Is this normal for Warhead? Oh my god.
No, this is normal for Dead Insiders.
Normal? Okay,
Dude,
okay.
These guys only know one direction, and that is forward. They don't know the word retreat. That doesn't exist. It's glorious. They're always just going
appreciate it.
full ham. And honestly, every team that played against them on map 1 at least had huge troubles with it because they didn't expect it. And they were like, yeah, any reasonable team would now retreat, right? So we can split a little bit. Yeah, no. They're still going to turn it on you and look for kills.
Wowzers. Well, I'm down with this kind of stuff. I mean, that's what is enjoyable about Heroes of the Storm. You can take compositions, just be super aggressive if you do it as a team, and they are keeping it up here. Oh my gosh, burning down Diablo. Swamgranta trying to run away. Swamgranta goes down.
Yeah, so Diablo dead, and that's the second kill for them already. Bishop's a little bit in trouble here at the top, but Limu's already coming to assist him here. But yeah, big map, and even the bigger they are now in the hands of Tigers, so that is all going to help them to burn Diablo down even quicker. For me personally, the X factor is really Zeratul. It's been quite a while since we had a Zeratul pick. It's been a long time, so I really want to see what he can pull off, especially of course against the Birdie. So against Falstad, he should actually have a good shot of taking him down a couple of times in this game.
Especially with this build here. He's going Shadow Hunter straight into Psionic Strength. Have you seen this lately on a Zeratul? I feel like it's been forever. Like, I'm used to like Wormhole builds or even like Greater Cleave builds. Or even like full all-in building into that level 10 where you're able to get the extra ability, but this is something that I haven't seen in a Gangster Minute.
I mean, this is pretty much one of the standards so far where you didn't go for Might of the Nerazim on 10 as well, at least from the European side. Shizake in real trouble. Damn, poor Muradin. He got completely swamped here. And
Well, I mean, look at the blue
dropped
team. They brought all 5. They brought everybody. They're like, all right, we're tired of this. Went full defense.
But that's pretty much what you have to do against them. They did that in the second game too, where they decided, alright guys, this is stupid. We have to roam at least at 4. Anything else is not working here. And at the top, it just continues. Blaze barely escapes. But they got a couple of warheads now. So at the bottom, Svamgrota with the first channel right there.
I'm just sitting here thinking about this Wombo combo that we're going to get at level 10. Like, yeah, the Zeratul can dive in if they go for VP. I hope. I mean, we just had the whole Might of Nerazim being brought up. But one can dream, and we have 3 levels 2 dream here. As we have VP, APOC potentially, Blaze into a combustion, Junkrat, Riptire, Rhaegar, Bloodlust, just run them down. Take them out instantly, especially when you see them constantly grouping up like this, invading. How sick would that be?
Yeah, but with that build, there's no way he's going to for VP. I honestly don't even like that combo that much anymore. It's too easy to disrupt it. And
you hate explosions, Khaldor? Are you?
Oh, you're not I like the explosion. It's just like the VP and APOC that usually doesn't give you anything. And the good Zeratul player with Might of the Nerazim is murdering the backline. Okay, that warhead is gone. Anime power still getting out, but at least they didn't give the warhead up, so I guess he was just trying to use it so that it wouldn't fall into enemy hands.
See, that's why we do peace treaties in real life, alright? Then we have to use the nuke before you get taken out. Big Q comes in, more damage here. Rhaegar trying to escape, 173, he goes for a bite, tries to get a pick off with Svamgrota. They will find it, but overall, Red team looking for another potential pickup. Diablo able to take away thanks to the help of Zeratul.
Yeah, they still got their warhead, so that's good news for them. They got the kill against the birdie too. After level 10, I really think they're going to try and chase a little bit harder here. At least that's what I would expect. But yeah, Gaflo buying vision again down at the bottom of the map. Zeratul very uncomfortable all alone there. He's like, yeah, boys, I'm feeling very isolated here, so please send help.
I would be so annoyed with these constant 3-man ganks. Blaze, every time I look at him, he gets to full health thanks to a back, and then he comes back into the lane, clears half of a lane, and the next thing you know, 3 people is there with Lucio, burning him down. That's so frustrating. Poor Gaflo.
They have a half-level lead now. I mean, the early level 10 could definitely help them a little bit to maybe push some of the lanes down. It feels like always it comes at the end of the day to a battle on the boss. Zeratul already in trouble trying to get out, and yeah, here it is, the 3 or 4-man gank that you mentioned. He can jump all he wants, he's not gonna make it here. But at least Tigers got killed too, so it's a kill for Hello? What? Whoa. Hello?
Oh my.
Juke City, baby!
Okay. Lucio got him, but the rest of the team did rotate down to help out, and the nuke still can get picked up. They win this team fight. Lucio taking some damage. Falstad will be a hinterland blast. Excuse me? No.
Oh, I love these guys. Full on shock and awe. They go for the Hinterland Blast, and it is glorious.
I literally whine about Hinterland Blast all the time, and the one game I come to cast with you in like months, Warhead Junction and Hinterland Blast. What is this? Am I being trolled? Is this an intervention, Khaldor? Are you messing with me?
No, this is awesome. I love it. They're trying again for Rhaegar. These guys are they're just diving, and it's working for them. Stormbolt connects and Diablo falls. Everybody gets still out on the red team side. 7 kills to 3. It's just an endless brawl, and Hogger isn't even here. Hogger has been attacking the top lane the entire time and dropped the fort by now down to 50% HP.
The nuke was finally grabbed. Another one spawning. Oh my gosh. Unforgiven trying to get out there. We'll lose most of his health bar. Oh, but there we go. Zeratul popping off a little bit here. That Might of the Nerazim finally coming online.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about earlier. If he's able to completely play that the way that he needs to, then that backline is going to suffer. But they're also going a bit deep here, so that Stormbolt that Shizakid threw out earlier barely missed him, so he dodged it nicely. But they have to be super careful now. Diablo, on the other hand, is a bit of a game changer down here at the bot lane. I don't even think they saw him. Topside, though. Ooh, Junkrat! Riptire! And he's down. Nice.
Wowzers. Wow. What a game back and forth. That's trying to see how tanky is Diablo. Okay, he's at 95 on the Black Soulstone right now and actually just completed himself. Going for that level 7 auto attack ability as well. And the kills are starting to ring in. And remember that half level lead that was there for the red team? Suddenly just disappearing. Oh my gosh, Ancestor healing underneath the tower as well. Another pick. And there's a nuke for the taking if they can find a way to get rid of this fort, but there's no minions nearby.
Yeah, and Muradin with a Storm Bolt. I mean, it's just all day, every day, full YOLO and attack and aggression, and it's just working so well here. These teams are just nuts. They actually played in the winner bracket in the first round, and the Raiders lost 1-2 against Dead Insiders, and then afterwards, when they watched some games that were played by the red team later on in the tournament, they just looked at the constant aggression and how they are sometimes hardcore inting to get another kill, and they were just writing in Twitch and were like, how did we lose this? Like, so right now this is a bit of a revenge play that they're trying to execute here, but you can tell it's hard. There's so much aggression, there's so much chaos. You have to be really careful and disciplined with your rotations and the way that you are attacking and coordinating these fights.
This Rhaegar is constantly baiting everyone out of position just so Svangranta can go in and get the combos. It's worked 4 times now in a row. Halo and Blast comes out, will hit 2, a little bit of cooldown reduction there. Muradin locked down as well. Here comes the nuke. Will it land on anyone? It does connect with Gaflo. That was a decent chunk of health, but Blaze able to walk away, then some burning oil, and they get a trade out there as Hogger down for 13 seconds, Khaldor.
Yeah, Zeratul still in play and could go for that backline, but the mid fort is also very, very low. So it's a super chaotic game, and like tons and tons of fights, and at the 9-minute mark we already have 15 kills. But if you just look at the structures, the bottom fort destroyed on the red team side, the mid fort very, very low here, and a lot of warheads also throughout the game in the hands of the Raiders that they can consistently use to be aggressive and take some of the structures down. So they are stabilizing quite nicely, but against the red team you always have to be careful. They will take any team fight they can get, and it's just one team fight that you have to lose, and all of a sudden that top boss could march through your lanes.
And while there has been a lot of aggression, it seems almost random, there has actually been a lot of aggression on the top side to get that fort low, and that's the boss lane too, right? Which is great for the red team. If you want to be aggressive, you want to be able to have a win condition set up later on, and them getting this fort, which they're picking off now, sets them up for that eventual play.
Yeah, and Muradin actually coming in and trying for the Storm Bolt, but that didn't really work out. They took a few more camps at the bottom of the map, so now this is pressuring the bottom keep wall a little bit. Unforgiven gets caught. No Ancestral. There it is. Has the self-Ancestral, keeps himself alive. Bunker already getting dropped. Zeratul is still at the bottom of the map, and Hinterland is coming out once again. Riptire 2, they're really trying for it right now. Trying to get the kill here. Diablo with a big barbecue.
Oh my gosh, he finds one, the other's gonna have to skedaddle away, but meanwhile in that bottom lane, you mentioned those Hellbats that were picked up. They are moving into the tower, and Zeratul is just going straight for it. He's gonna open that wall, and if they're not careful, he might be able to get a keep. Falstad gets engaged on, they will actually lose their Rhaegar on the top left, and it falls up into a Blaze at the same time, but Red Team has to get down the bottom lane ASAP.
Yeah, this Diablo is also getting attacked here, but as you already said, Falstad, he's moving back, but both of the towers are down, the gate is destroyed, and the keep is losing hit points, and Falstad alone, okay, Tigers is with him. I was just about to say, with level 16 talents now already being available for the Raiders, if Falstad isn't careful, he's gonna get murdered by Zeratul, but Tigers helps out. That immediately means that at the top lane, yeah, Lucio, Muradin, he actually saved him. Insane.
Do you think Svangranta is just smiling this entire time? After seeing him at the Heroes International, like, it's just like, I can't imagine that guy being angry ever. Dude just running it down with Diablo combos. He's like, alright man, I'll fight. I'm in.
Lucio. Dying to Junkrat here it's again just nuts. So Zeratul is slowly starting to join the fun here as well and helping out at the top lane, but already a kill on Muradin. Lucio is dead. Junkrat died on the other side, and they're still brawling all over the map. So far we've only seen Rhaegar's self-Ancestral. He's baiting over and over again, then has to use the ult on himself. Still getting killed here, but they might be able to get the birdie. So Falstad is down. It's in total 24 kills. 23 kills already. It's just nuts. And another one. Oh boy.
I mean, this is a good candidate for like how HOTS can be a lot of fun while you're playing. Oh my gosh.
Hero Brawler, right?
Hero Brawler, yeah.
I think this is pretty much what Blizzard had in mind when they started with this game.
Yeah, I think it's what most of the player base agrees with as well. There are people watching this right now and they're like, this is the shit. This is the LCS right now. My God, this is the TI. Let's go.
Working as intended.
Oh my gosh, so much brutality. Nuke finally grabbed you on the bottom left. How's the map look? The map's not even that exploded right now. Jesus, look at this. There's still forts everywhere.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, they've been killing each other the entire game for 13 minutes, but we still have... Only 2 forts have been killed. Only 2 forts are gone. The one in the middle, granted, extremely low, but still, it's bananas.
Wait, bananas in this match?
No.
Will let me down, Khaldor.
Banana let you down. But he's French, so we're used to that.
By not being in here.
These star points are also missing. There's the 5-man again. Zeratul isn't here. Swampgrotta trying to dash out on the left. Rhaegar, they really hate dogs. I think the entire team just loves cats. This is the 4th time now that he's self-ancestral. It's always Rhaegar baiting. So yeah, one self-ancestral after another. I'm not sure if he knows he can use it for other people too. But again, the big fight. Zeratul isn't here and they still lose it. They still lose Hogger.
That's been the impressive thing, is blue team has just been on a 45 constantly. They just know how to use their heroics to survive. Now here's the thing though, all the heroics have been used. Zeratul is on his way to finally join the fight. Will his ability to show up into a fight and pick someone off turn the
He came, he saw, he died.
Thank you for taking that. Oh my gosh, that was... He came right in. He had that shit on lockdown.
I mean, he got a kill. He got a kill.
He did. That was a very quick turnaround of events. 2-for-1 trade in the favor of blue team. They now grab the middle fort and take the structure lead. They've finally done it after how many kills? 27.
And level 20 is nearly ready. I mean, Falsad also had to go topside to defend the fort, but that thing has taken lots and lots of damage. Now, the boss hasn't been attacked once, but there is a Storm Talon advantage now for one team, so we got the Shadow Stride. Farsia's Blessing, only reason why Rhaegar takes it is so somebody else also gets a heal. But it's actually funny seeing him being forced to use it on himself time and time again in this game. It's just nuts.
It almost seems like it's the game plan. Like, he just kind of runs in a little bit. That one where Hogger engaged in the last one was the last one where he wasn't in that front line, so... Unforgiven, getting it done, though. And the whole time, though, Diablo's been full health, which has been pretty spectacular, in my opinion, with Tychus kind of being on the opposing side. That guy will just burn through a Diablo health bar, doesn't matter how built up he is.
I mean, Tychus is top damage in the game now. He has 52,000 damage, 44,000 for Junkrat. Easy boss at the top, and now they just have to see how much they can do at the top lane with it. I mean, the fort is obviously going to fall, but I like that insiders are trading in the middle. They're realizing what's happening. They're saying, okay, we can at least start to attack some structures in the middle of the map. But it's going to be super interesting to see if now fight can be forced before 20, and if they then can rotate to the top lane and maybe even drop a keep there.
Red team working on that 20. I don't think I have seen them retreat to their base without getting a couple of picks or being a little bit low on health here.
No. You don't understand the game plan here. You don't retreat. You die and you respawn.
Oh.
That's how you get back to base.
Gotcha.
Oh,
got it.
Double warhead. They have another one. I think they can kiss that one goodbye. That keep is gone. If they drop the last one as well, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Nice zoning too.
And there it goes. 20 connects, 2 for the red team, so they could force an engage, but wisely, you see everyone on blue retreat and head to that nuke that is by itself at the very bottom. This could be the last fight of the game, Khaldor. It could.
You upgraded the Hinterland Blast. Call of the Wild Hammer. Let's go. As you should. Just need to follow up on that stunt when it comes.
Oh, well. Hey, Lucio, look at him. He's so annoying.
Zeratul gets a freebie on the warhead at the bot lane though. Yeah, now the top lane is going to be a real problem. Catapults are already amassing there. If they can open the bottom keep up too, it's already taking damage. I love how they're starting to sniff out these little traps that are being set the entire time, so they're not falling into that little game anymore. And, well, there's the kill. Tychus is dead. Hinterland Blast gets used. It's a bit too late. They were trying to sneak around, but they wasted time there. Another self-heal by Rhaegar, but he's always pulling it off. You gotta give it to him. He is not dying. He's always able to pull through here.
Yeah. get that big juicy healing in. It's definitely worth a trade out for you here. Look at that. Like, no one's dead on their side, and they have one over there. That's just math. That's a W.
Yeah, again, bot lane heavily exposed now, so there's the opportunity. You got the warhead. That's a keep for sure. There could be more than that. If they get another kill now, then 100% they're going to try and make a play for it. Keep about to go down. Another hinterland. Barbecue from Diablo. He's not dying. He's dropping everybody low on the other side, though. And Junkrat, jeez, he's just choking them out here. Completely pushing them back with one hit after another.
Oh, I forgot you can see the nukes launching. That's so cool. Wait, those nukes didn't even kill the minions. What the hell? What?
28 kills. 72% on the core, so they actually lost a lot already. Now they have 2 lanes that push against them, and at the top lane we already have catapults coming in. I mean, it's 19 minutes into the game. Those bad boys are really going to start to hurt, and they have full control over this with another minion camp or mercenary camp about to be claimed topside.
The nukes don't scale, right? Don't the catapults eventually out-damage the nukes?
I mean, the catapults are definitely going to out-damage that core in a second.
Yeah. So
because
interesting to think about.
Nobody is dealing with that bot lane right now, so they gotta move someone in soon. There's a second catapult already coming. If they're losing time now, they're going to lose. They're actually moving into the middle. They're going for a fight. They need to send the bird back at least.
Yeah, they're just on the way.
Zeratul is already here. Zeratul is waiting for him. They know that Fawcett has to come back.
Here it is. Oh my god. Literally not attack range. Are you kidding me? Oh, he didn't even do it. Wow.
He's AFK.
Wow.
He went for a donut. He's gone.
Well, I guess like you already have the game won, right? So why force it on a 1v1?
I guess he just didn't really know where everybody else was, and if somebody's around the corner, then all of a sudden, you know, you jump in, you use some of your mobility, and then you get attacked.
Yeah,
so
I think it's a smart play.
I think he just wanted to play it safe.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Keep the pressure going, etc.
Yeah, but now the problem is still that there's more warheads on the map and you don't want the opponent to take them. Bot lane is the biggest problem because there's still a fort standing for the raiders, so every single wave now spawns a catapult and you have 0 counter pressure against it. Zeratul just sitting around giving them some vision and some idea of what's happening here. But yeah. Top side. I mean, they're really running out of time here. They have to force a fight and win it eventually. Because those catapults scale hard. And they're trying it right now in the middle.
Wrong. Tire, straight in the middle, hits Lucio, goes down in HP. Muradin gets deleted. He can't move. Tendril Blast comes out as well. Big heal at the same time, and meanwhile, 7 on the bottom of the map here, going straight for the core, burning it down. The armor finally getting deleted.
Yeah,
you be able to follow up. That's gonna be a nice, solid GG game as 4 people get picked off. Excuse me, 5. Khaldor, yell it for me because I don't have a voice.
5-man team wipe. Entire team down, nicely done. That was a really well-coordinated fight. It was a 4 versus 5 as well. Zeratul was just trying to macro them at the bot lane, and even that would have worked. But there's the lead. The Finland Raiders with a 2-1 lead with 33 kills. We are headed for game number 4. Okay, game number 4, everybody. Match point. The Raiders with a 2-1 lead as we are headed for Brax's holdout. So, a lot of aggression here between the teams, but it seems that slowly and steadily the Raiders are getting the hang of how to deal with dead insiders. I mean, you gotta roam as 4 or 5. That seems to be the trick here for them, and it's working.
It is relatively hard to play aggression on Brax's, isn't it? You kind of like can figure out where they're at, aside from mercenary camps popping up.
I, by the way,
quickly
can't even begin to tell you how much I like that they're consistently banning Sylvanas. I have yesterday casted 2 best of 5s of Dead Insiders, and I have the entire time been ranting about ban Sylvanas, ban her out. She's one of the key heroes for them, clearly. And now it's happening in this series consistently. So yeah, very, very happy about the adjustment.
She was prevalent in Heroes International as well, right? Like, she's at the top on this patch. It's wild. Are we stuck like this for the rest of our lives? Just Sylvanas all day, every day?
Yeah, I don't really think so. I mean, we have always a little bit of a couple of changes coming in the meta. At some point, Nick is getting bored and tests all kinds of heroes, and some of them stick. He's a bit of an Artanis trip lately. That's not really working out the way that he thinks, I believe. But he's the one that brought Sergeant Hammer back and brought Kerrigan back at some point. So you can always switch it up a little bit, and then it's just a matter of how long it takes other teams to adjust to what you're doing.
That's fair. This is a great Lava Wave map, specifically, as you mentioned that earlier when I joined the cast, so just want to get my 2 cents in real quick.
That
Real
one?
good map.
Nah. The bigger the map, the
Yeah,
better
real good.
Lava Wave.
Lava Wave.
I think they played it on Warhead once, and yeah, that was alright. There's our boy, Rexa, top lane. Okay, already locked in right from the get-go.
Where's our wave clear? For bottom lane. Give it to us, red team.
I mean, I am actually... Okay,
That's
that's the
not
Tracer.
wave clear.
That's the yeah, but that's Tracer for Limo. Limo pretty much wants to either play Tracer or he wants to play Genji. Those are the 2 heroes for him. If he goes
That's his
into a
life?
Tychus, that's also okay, but he is infinitely better on Tracer and on Genji. Maybe a little bit too aggressive at times, but when you play these heroes, you kind of have to be. So if you're going up against a really, really good team, they're going to shut you down eventually, and then it doesn't look that impressive. But he's definitely having a way, way bigger impact on those 2. And in the last couple of games, he didn't get a chance to play them, so I'm not surprised that they're locking Tracer in very, very early in the draft.
Is he one of those Overwatch mains that came over because of the Diva skin and just never left? Just like, all
I
right,
don't think so.
Tracer Genji for life, I guess.
But yeah, those were horrible times when they brought those quests. It was like, play this many games. It's like, how about you change it to win this many games so that they're not just coming in and then int.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So interesting how those like small keywords are such a big deal and they just seem to be overlooked.
Yeah,
I think people forget that gamers are gamers and they'll do anything to not do anything.
exactly.
They want to win with the least amount of effort.
Throw the game as quickly as possible, get my skin, and then I'm out of here. But yeah. Nah, those were some miserable times. I still remember that it was the time when I had to level my new NA accounts up. When I just after I moved for HGC, and there were so many people that were just jumping into the games and were saying like, I'm just here for the skin, I just want to play, I'm not gonna do anything, I just want to make sure that I play the games and I don't have to win, so let's lose this fast. And I was like, please no.
It was a pretty fire skin, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Gul'dan was played a couple of times already by the red team, so that's the reason why he gets banned out here, and obviously he brings that wave clear that you've been asking for. So
Yep.
curious what they're doing instead. There's Anduin again, we get the Crybaby back, Diablo gets picked.
Light bomb combination. We saw this a lot at the Heroes International with Kira and crew.
Yeah, they really like it. Again, that's one of the reasons why they are normally playing Genji, but when they can't pull him off, then they go for Tracer. And it worked extremely well on the first map, for example. They did that multiple times there. So
Where's Jimmy? He was my favorite counter to Tracer. You just auto attack her. And Giggle.
Jimmy has been played a little bit in the Skyline Cup, but yeah, we're not going to get him here. We are getting a Samuro on the other hand.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
Yeah, didn't quite have him on my bingo card for this match, to be honest. But I love a good Maiev. We had one of the earlier games in the winner bracket final when Ultralisk was playing, and oh my god, him on Maiev, I mean, I've cast him so many times on that hero, so I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but some of the games that he plays with her, it's just insane.
I think it's good to be surprised. I think too often we see amazing gameplay from one person and we just kind of like expect it and then suddenly it just become normal. It's always great to be surprised on it. That keeps me excited and pumped that you are, you know?
Yeah, but he really, really pushes it. I mean, here we go. We got Cassie as the final pick, boys and girls. Braxis is the map. First match point for the blue team. Let's see if it ends here or if we're going to game number 5. Game number 4. The Raiders in the lead. Match point for the blue team. Dead Insiders. They want to force map number 5, of course. This is a losers bracket, so once again, quick reminder, best of 5 losers bracket, and right here, right now, we'll see if Dead Insiders still have another chance to make it to the grand final, or if they're going to drop out here. The Vinland Raiders, they want their revenge, and they might get it. On the left, Nado with Junkrat, Unforgiven with Brightwing, Sven on Samuro, we got Gavlo on Maiev, and Uki on Muradin.
Far right in the red, running across the battlefield now. Shiok on Diablo, Limu on Tracer, Bishops on Rexar, Anime Power on Cassian, and No Game No Life on Anduin. And I don't know if they responded to me about whether or not they watch anime together, but I'm gonna assume they do and push that narrative.
I actually haven't watched the chat after you asked them earlier in the lobby if they do, but yeah, definitely.
I didn't either.
Definitely for it. And, well, there's that Stormbolt to get the tether, but the stun from Misha, and Bishops is able to walk out. That looked dicey for a moment. That really looked like they might be able to get the kill on Rexa, but he's able to walk out of this. We got the Way of Illusion on level 1, and damn, they're really going ham on the top lane.
Yeah, they sure are. And I got actually official replay analysis of what happened in that chat. When I told them that we watched anime together, they asked how our date went. That was their response. They didn't even say whether they watched it or not.
It went
What
really
do you
well,
even say to that? Yeah, it went great. Can we get back to the question? My golly. Oh, bottom lane. Brightwing's going in. Is she getting that pick? No, Cassia's able to get out. Anime power walking away, no problemo. What's the build here for Cassia? I've been trying to figure out those charge strikes being grabbed here at level 1.
Stormbolt hits, Nano in trouble, and gets blown up as they're starting to chase Limu, but Tracer is able to make it out of the fight. Quick note, by the way, for some people that might be a little bit surprised here, so players have slightly changed. I mentioned it at the beginning of the series that apparently not everybody for the blue team was ready when the game or the match started, so they had a couple of subs coming in, Swampgrotter being one of them, and he is now not playing with the team right now because they got their boys back. So now it's the full lineup for the Raiders. Did a great job helping them to get into that position, and well, of course, if they lose now, then we all know who was a crucial part of their success here. So yeah, no pressure. I guess he's gonna be swapped in for good if they're now starting to lose games all of a sudden.
He would do it too with a smile on his face.
Oh,
I believe in the Granta. Oh, another engage here.
yeah,
Right in the bottom right, in the middle. Is he gonna get out?
Yeah, Brightwing is even helping out, but yeah, they have top control for now. 26% already towards the red team, then again. But we have with level 4 now also the Mirage, so just a full focus here by Samuro. And they are again attacking all over the place. Bishops is barely able to make it out. Misha still died, but at the bottom of the map the brawl has also continued. And Maiev was on the receiving end of an ass kicking and barely survived that. So it's still Samuro topside that is pressuring Rexa back. And with Misha gone, there's not really a whole lot that Bishops can do at this point in time, especially with Unforgiven helping out as well.
I do like how this tank has come in though. How's that pronounced? Huki? Yuki?
Yuki, yeah.
Yeah, Huki playing Muradin, he's been really on point on slowing down Diablo's rotations. Him and Samuro are working hand in hand. Just always being on the opposing side. That's opened up these beacons a lot.
I like to call him Dookie because it reminds me of The Wire.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn. I was about to be like, that's really childish, Khaldor.
I mean, it's both. It's both, but still.
I haven't seen The Wire. Actually.
You haven't seen The Wire?
No. I think I started like the first episode, and like everyone just talks about it being the best show ever.
You are fucking with me. You haven't seen The Wire? You can't be serious.
No, I'm serious,
Dude,
man.
I stumbled.
Like,
I tweeted it out a couple of days ago. YouTube suggested a few clips to me again, and I watched the clips, and I was just like, oh my god, the show is so good. And now I'm binging it for at least the 8th time again. You have
that's me in
to watch
Scrubs and
The
Avatar:
Wire.
Last Airbender. Those are my re-binges. I watch those every year, over and over.
Dude, you have to watch The Wire. It's like, that's insane to me. It's one thing to say like, yeah, I think another show is better, but to not even have watched it and not like it, that's crazy. Like, it is incredible.
Okay. I mean, I'll add to the list for sure. Easy peasy.
Yeah, we'll put that on the test for next time. That will be a test.
Time. Hey, how's that God of War going?
I'm trying to buy a PlayStation 5. It's always sold out with that thing. I tried it the other day. I will play that. I promise.
The day you get the PS5 is the day I'll be, alright, today I started The Wire.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I'll get that. And they are still brawling. Hasn't changed the entire series, but now we got the kill on Cassia, so she's down. There's a bit of a chase happening at the top too. Seems like Limu might even fall, but yeah, Samuro moved away. It feels like the blue team is turning it a little bit on Dead Insiders. For the first part of this series, it was always the red team that initiated every single aggressive play and was just trying to hunt them. And at some point, it just felt like the Raiders accepted that this is going to be a mad brawl. And now they are the ones who all of a sudden are looking for kills, are looking for fights, for battles, and are totally willing to embrace it.
Can't beat them. Join them. What do they say? It's like a war tactic, something, General Khan, something like that, the art of war. Cassia gets engaged on. Yeah. Yeah, Sun Tzu, some foreign god. And there's going to be 3 people picked off. And you know, it's working out.
God.
Hey man, I'm not on my A game right now, all right?
Always
It's been a
these
week.
foreigners with their wisdom.
That's what I'm here for, you know? Lay it all down. I know my history.
Well, they got the progress now. They have the double control on the beacon, and they're also getting the bottom fort. Momentum is really swinging in favor of the Raiders right now. Alright, can they get the kill here as well? Tracer in this game is just getting booped around from right to left and left to right, always looking to dive into the backline. It's just not really working out for them. But if Sven is able to take control at the top, look at Bishops here. He's solo. These two have been fighting a 1v1 for the entire time. It's just a bit unfortunate for Rexa that Samuro can cheat and order Brightwing to help out.
Man, new Samuro, I mean, I know he's not new. It's been like 2 years since it's been reworked. It's just so obnoxious, just constantly whittling you down. So hard to deal with him too. A good Samuro player. And Sven seems to be up in that tier, that's for sure. Muradin takes some damage once again, but Unforgiven is just there. Unforgiven has been everywhere today.
I mean,
my golly.
The Gavin experience is something that worries me a little bit for the red team too. If they can't soon get a couple of kills in, maybe now against Samuro, then they're gonna have a real problem. But they drop the Orc, so 1 down, and that closes the gap a little bit for them. If they can get a little bit more here, but Maiev, yeah, she's able to escape. But level 10 is so close, and with 92 points on the beacon, they should be able to lock the objective in. Oh, what a dive by Diablo!
Red team's suddenly fighting back here. Look at that beacon progress. It was 92% to a very low percent, and now they are about to potentially take the lead. Yeah, look at the map. No one's here in a position to stop it, and they're going to get a full 100% and some Hellbats to help out with the top wave.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, the level 10 is now ready, but they closed that gap. And this was the one thing that I was really a bit scared about, that they weren't able to get kills, that they would fall behind with heroic abilities just as the wave spawns, and that the Raiders can completely control the flow of the game. But now it's just more or less even. It's 4 kills to 4, both teams on level 10. We get a Haymaker, of course we do. And Brightwing and Maiev immediately die. So yeah, that top fight did not go well for the Raiders at all. It seems like that Insiders are starting to take some control in this game again.
What has happened to you? Did I just hear the words, do we get a Haymaker? Of course we do. In like a gleeful tone?
No, that was not gleeful.
Are you okay, Khaldor?
No. You misinterpreted the one hard. That was just resignation.
I don't know, man. There was some glee in that voice. Chat, type 7 if you heard some glee in that voice. Because I think I heard a little glee.
Definitely not.
Of course we do.
It's like, of course we do. Ugh. By the way, we got somebody split pushing that pretty heavily. So down at the bottom of the map, Samuro is now saying, alright boys, if we can't beat them in the team fights anymore, then how about we macro it up a little bit and I'm gonna start pressuring those side lanes. So yeah, he's trying to capitalize on this a little bit. As long as he escapes, he's gonna be fine, but yeah, it's gonna keep Rexa at least on his toes.
That is the fun part about playing Samuro. Samuro is one of those characters that you look at the map and you go, what are they not doing and where can I be annoying? And you just go do that and you get rewarded for it. So good job by him. He seems to really excel at that kind of character. So I've only seen him play Zeratul now and Samuro, but he's doing a great job.
Yeah, pretty much just a question of, okay, which characters are the most annoying to play against? Let's learn those.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, honestly, there's some strategy in that.
Yeah.
Sun Tzu, 2014.
Gotta go full Overwatch then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stormbolt misses.
Diablo! Haymaker's up. He's ready.
That's what I'm afraid of.
He's in the wall. He's getting his ass beat.
Wall's done.
Haymaker him. You got this. No fucking way.
He's dead.
Okay.
Just before Brightwing comes in. And that, ladies, is why you take Avatar. Exactly that.
We'll get a little bit better at 13 when he gets some healing, but for now, he's relaxing, trying to get the Haymaker off. He's saving it for the next fight. No worries.
I call that dying.
Yeah, it's relaxing for some. You're like, whoa, I don't have to need more buttons. This feels nice. This feels real good.
Yeah.
It's like a little holiday in the middle of a match.
Samuro is also currently struggling a little bit at the bot lane, so you have all of a sudden that Insiders taking way more control here. I mean, these boys are doing work, and with now Tracer jumping down to the bot lane, there's a good chance that Samuro is going to die as well. Ah, well, actually, with Brightwing coming in, it's Tracer who's in trouble. And in a lot of that, Tracer's dead. Yeah, that was a Sudoku move and a half.
Wow, and he's able to dodge out on the bomb too by jumping into his next Samuro trait. Smart play there. And with a quick pick, we'll see what they can do with it.
She went full Sudoku in this one. I mean, Brightwing came at the perfect moment in time for the poly.
Oh, Light Bomb on the top side. Diablo engaging fully on that Junkrat. And will get the pick off. Wowzers.
Yeah, 9 kills to 5. I mean, it's 13 versus 13. And they just can't get a hold of Bishops. They're trying this entire game, but they cannot get those kills in against them. They haven't dropped him once. They were only able to take Misha down a couple of times. Maybe now. Tether is in. They go for Bishops again, and they're trying to also attack Cassia here. Cassia on 27,000 damage, but now it's a 5 versus 4, and they don't really like that too much. Still trying to move past the boss here, and able to escape as well. I mean, it's getting a little bit more tricky for the blue team, but they're still fighting tooth and nail. But of course, it's back to the beacons now, and the control is there for Dead Insiders. They have the double controller being forced off at the top lane, and this might be the first time that Rexa finally falls. This time the Stormbolt hits, and that's the end of him.
Misha loses her pet. Haymaker is up. Bam! Knocks him straight in the back corner. Anime Power trying to get away. The punch was so strong, though. Thanks to Anduin, though, coming in for a save, they're able to keep him alive. Diablo gets locked out to a containment. Can they throw him to the side? Yes, they do. But do they have the DPS?
Yeah, Anduin at least died, so it was a good riptire, and then Samuro finished the job. Limo and the rest of the team, they are still alive, and they really have to hold on to that top beacon. If they have to now retreat again, then it will be more progress for Dead Insiders. And again, this is a 5 versus 3 right now, and the red team was still able to take a couple of additional points. It's all about the tether. Can they go for Diablo? The Stormbolt.
There's a Haymaker!
And that is
it's
that.
available! Can he go for it? Will he go for it? Oh my god, I want him to punch him so bad. I want him just like to prove how insane this heroic is. Yuki, please. Storm up. He walks up. They knock him back. He's trying to stay alive. He didn't even have to use a Haymaker. That's how fucking strong it is. My god!
It's so intimidating, exactly. The best way to utilize Haymaker is not to use it. I totally agree.
There you go, Khaldor. Now you're getting it. You gotta think outside the box in order to become the circle. You know what I'm saying? Sun Tzu.
I know what you're saying. You picked up mushrooms. I had no idea.
That's why I'm sick.
Oh, there's the disc. Yeah, hit him a little bit later than they wanted it, but still hits hard, and now Anduin is dead.
Oh, Brightwing.
But so is Brightwing.
Oh, your shirt was killed. Unlucky. Which you can buy at the merch store from Khaldor.
But, by the way, they have still control. Besides, like, while all of this is happening, they have full control of the beacons, and they got a level 16 talent, so this is actually not too shabby. They lost Brightwing, which kind of sucks, but even if they're pushing, she can always portal back in, so it's not like they're losing tons of time here. So this is actually not too bad, as long as they're not losing more of their heroes now.
Bird in a really rough spot here, trying to hold down this wall, but with Diablo lurking above him and a Shadow Charge available, this is kind of terrifying. Okay, he eats it. Big knockback. There goes the punch from the Haymaker to deliver the final blow, Khaldor. Did you hear it? Haymaker got a kill. Anime Power trying to retreat, but there's a tire, and that's 2 down.
Yeah, and I give you that Haymaker kill. That one was beautiful. But right now, they have a chance to take some... I mean, honestly, they could maybe even go for the game here if this continues. They're trying to get another kill against Anduin. No game, no life, turning it around or trying to for just a moment. But at the bottom of the map, that's a massive wave. And they're killing Rexa too. This is a disaster. This could be it. This could be game.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about this map. It is satisfying to see a ton of Zerg just pushing into a lane, doom impending on the core as a Zerg player from back in the StarCraft days. The core taking the armor shots right away, and suddenly, blue team here with a couple of amazing picks are burning down this core and look like they're going to earn the W.
Yeah, that's going to be a win. Jadong would be proud of that final attack. 26 kills in total, and the Vinland Raiders take a 3-1 victory over Dead Insiders. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.